Hi guys, and welcome back to the Video Game with Powers. I'm Jake.
I'm Sierra.
And in today's video, we are going to be giving you guys our review of the upcoming board game City of Venus Survivors, which is coming to you guys sometime very soon at the end of February on Kickstarter. If you guys are interested in this game, go ahead and check the link down in our description below. That'll take you to the campaign page and give you a lot more information over this game to see if it is right for your backing. As always, guys, or if this is your first time watching a review from us, we go a little bit more in depth than maybe some other content creators do. We go ahead and break the game down into several different categories. However, since this is a preview copy of the game, we are not going to dive into every single category that we normally do when we do our in-depth reviews. But the different categories we're going to be talking about today are the theme, the components, the setup, the length, the difficulty, and the replayability. At the conclusion of these categories, we will go ahead and give our overall rating for the board game. Let's go ahead and jump right in talking about the theme. So I think Cities of Venus does an excellent job here of tying the theme into the mechanics of the game. And so the overall theme of Cities of Venus Survivors is people of Earth are now living in floating cities, and what they do is they send miners down into the sky or send miners down to mine this specific material. And so you are one of those miners and you have this mech suit in order to do that. However, your thrusters fail to allow you to get back up. And so you have to kind of scavenge the earth to find these fuel rod parts. You find these cryostasis pods that are down there that can help propel you back up. And so you're just trying to scavenge parts, maybe encounter some survivors and work with them. So I think it does a really excellent job of tying the mechanics into the theme of the game with the dice rolling and all these different things. You have like this little mech board that you guys are going to be playing around, and you're going to be putting your dice in like little inputs of this kind of mech board, and it's really like you are piloting your own mech. And then you'll be able to encounter different survivors that are going to be able to manipulate your dice, but like they're going to be able to help you in certain ways to help you put different key inputs in the game. So look, I think they do an excellent job thematically, making you really feel immersed, like you are actually piloting a mech suit, right? And encountering these different survivors trying to get home. Sierra, you got anything to add on the theme?
No, I like it. It is a really cool theme, and how the other games of the same series tie into it.
Yep. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the components. So Sierra is going to be talking about the components and showing off the components here to this game.
Yeah, so we love the components of this game. The box itself is amazing. That's probably one of my favorite things. It makes it look like you're actually in the mech suit. And then for the inside of the back of the box, or the front of the box?
Top of the box.
Top of the box.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know how to put that. And then as far as the actual like insert, I think in the actual box is really great, helps organize it. And then the components itself are just awesome. I love the little screen printed astronauts. I love the different like Tetris-like pieces of, I guess, Earth, not Venus.
Yeah.
And just all of it. The dice are awesome. The organization of the player boards, I just think they did a really, really good job. I would give this like a 9 out of 10. The only thing I wish these little sheets, which is what you would be playing to kind of create your board, were a little thicker. But they're still good size, I guess. They're that, I don't know what it is, but it's thicker than normal paper still. But yeah. I think that's it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the components here are fantastic. I think one of the huge things for me is kind of what Sierra said, is the insert here of the box also serves as a storage tray for everything that you want to do. So literally, guys, this is all the tiles and components that you are going to need primarily to play this game. Now, you will need some cards and some beautiful looking dice here, but it is your choice. You can literally just store everything just like this and you put this little tray on top, and you will have the slot for the cards will go right there, and then you'll put these little you'll separate these terrain boards out in these little expansions, and then that is everything stored into the box. So I don't think I've ever seen a board game, Sierra, where like the insert actually can be used to like, I can just put the box on the table, or I can take this insert out and leave this on the table, and now all my components are stored in a nice, neat, compact area. So it really reduces the table space of the board game. And then, of course, I really, really love the dual layer boards here that they have of this mech board, where you're slotting the dice in. Everything's feel really great. But I'm in the same boat as Sierra. Looking at all the components, I'm going to go ahead and give these, I would give these a 9 out of 10. I think they've done an excellent and phenomenal job with the components here. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the setup. So I think there's some really good setup to the game here. I'd give this probably a 9 out of 10. It's super easy to get to the table, especially like I said with that insert. It makes the storage and just take that insert out, and boom, 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 I have everything set up and ready to go. And basically you just hand each person a player board with 4 dice and a terrain board, and you guys are ready to dive right in. I think the setup here is maybe 3 to 5 minutes.
So quick.
So it is really excellent. So that'd be a 9 out of 10 for me. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the length here. So the beautiful thing, and probably one of the coolest things about this game, is it does have simultaneous play. So when you guys are taking your turns, you're doing it together, and or you're doing it at the same time, and then whenever you finish your turn, you have one of these little chips that you'll just flip over to one side, indicating that you are ready to move on to the next phase, and then you just keep flipping this back and forth. But on the box, it does say about 45 to 75 minutes. I would say that's right on the mark, but I would still say there's some great length here to this game. So for me, as a number rating, that'd kind of be an 8 out of 10. Sierra, is there anything you want to add on to that?
No, I'd say it's a 9 out of 10 for me. Like, it's 45 minutes isn't a crazy long time, but it's a good amount of time to spend on a board game. But it's not like you're just sitting around waiting for each other's turn. So it goes by pretty quickly. You don't realize how quick 45 minutes can be with this game.
Absolutely. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on to the difficulty. So as always, the lower the number, the easier we feel the game is, and the higher the number, the more challenging we feel the game is. So Sierra, go ahead and take us away talking about the difficulty.
I honestly don't think it's very difficult. I'd rate it like maybe a 3 or 4. Pretty low. It's literally just rolling dice, seeing what you can do with your dice if you understand like matching numbers, getting a straight, and then depending on what you get, tells you what you're going to do that turn. So then the only other component would be picking out like if you find survivors, or using your little Tetris,
your polynomial tiles.
Yeah, the world map, I guess.
Oh, yeah, terrain board.
Terrain tiles.
Terrain tiles, yeah.
There we go. And as long as you understand those, I think it's pretty easy. Am I missing anything on the game?
No, I think you're right on the mark. I'm right there with you. 3, 4-ish out of 10. I think this game, for somebody who doesn't quite excel at polynomial tiles like myself. Well, no, not even say that it's a struggle. Like, I think this is a polynomial tile game that I can feel somewhat good at, because most of those games with the tiles I struggle at, and like you smoke me on it. But I think with the different myriad of options of tiles, like I don't get super landlocked, and it's easy for me to create and fill the spaces. So like even somebody who has challenges with polynomial tile laying games, like I think they're gonna feel really successful playing this one. So it just speaks to the ease of play in terms of this game. Yeah,
the only other thing I would add is dice manipulation. Like there's some ways that you can change your dice, and being able to understand that definitely helps with playing through this game. Taking in cards into consideration that can adjust your numbers, things like that. So as long as you can navigate
that
dice manipulation and polynomials, I think you'll be good with this game.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on to the replayability here. I'm going to go ahead and give the replayability an 8 out of 10. I think there's some great replayability here in terms of the game has two phases. You have this exploration phase where you are rolling your dice, trying to manipulate your dice to get these fuel rods. And then the second phase is called this launch sequence phase, where you're trying to take all of your dice that you have combined with the number of fuel rods. You'll get a dice for every single one of those that you managed to claim during that exploration phase, and you are trying to create a sequence of numbers that is, they're all of the same number but the highest possible number that you can get to. And so while kind of the exploration phase, yes, it's going to be different, but you're kind of doing the same thing, right? You're always going to be trying to fill boards. There are a good amount of those terrain boards for you to pick because you can only have 4. I think for me, like where the replayability is going to shine is that second phase of everybody's taking an individual turn. I'm rolling all my dice. I'm trying to panic to get the highest sequence of like 2s or 3s I can get. And then it's like you take these one at a time. So then it's like, look, I've got my sequence locked in. I've got like 6 2s. So then everybody else around the table is like, okay, I have to beat 6 2s. And then you, as the person that has it done, you're like looking at everybody else on the table and you're just like, are they going to do it? Are they going to do it? So like, I think that's what makes the replayability so much fun, along with kind of the simultaneous play. The game is going to move very quickly, especially at 2 players. So it's going to have that opportunity for you to get plays through multiple times.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I'm missing?
I would say the dice manipulation cards.
Yeah.
That's also going to change it up a lot because there's different ones we both got, and I know there's more in the game that we didn't get to.
Yeah.
And that's definitely going to change it up on how you roll your dice, what you go for, things like that.
All right, sweet. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and move on to our overall rating. Sierra, go ahead and start it off. What would you give the Cities of Venus Survivors here?
I love this game. I would say I'd give it a 9 out of 10. I love polynomial games. Those are always in my top 10. And I love dice games and dice manipulation. And then, like I said, I cannot get over this artwork. I think that was so cool and so innovative. I give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with her. I'm actually going to give this a 9 out of 10. I think this is an excellent game that combines a lot of things that me and Sierra really, really enjoy. So she loves the polynomial tile laying aspect of the game. I love the rolling the dice and dice manipulation aspect of the game. If you guys watched my top 100 games in our collection, you know that the Reckoners over here and Dice Throne are 2 games that are in my top 3. So anything with chuck and dice, I love that aspect of the game. But like diving in a little bit more, I really, really enjoy the simultaneous play of this game a whole lot. I think that the rating would drop for me if this was a turn-based game where it's like I take mine and then I gotta wait for you.
Because you're impatient.
Because I'm impatient. But I mean, I really just love the simultaneous play. I think that speeds the game up. It makes it run very smoothly. There's not a lot of downtime, right? So it's not if I take my turn and then I gotta wait for 3 other people. And that's kind of the really cool thing about this game is a lot of games we play at 2 players and we're like, okay, this game works really well at 2 players. Then we add in a 3rd player and it's like the game time gets extended by 45 minutes to an hour, and so it's a struggle for us to get this to the table. But with something like this, because everybody's playing at the same time, they kind of do the same thing with Garden Geckos. Like Garden Geckos plays really quickly even though they don't have simultaneous play. So like we love playing Garden Geckos at more than 3 or 4 players, right? Because it just works out really well. This is kind of the same thing with this game is no matter the player count, I don't think the playtime of the game is going to extend way too much, right? It's going to still be in that 50-minute to 75-minute range, which nowadays for a lot of board games, if you can get a 4 or 5 player board game in 75 minutes, I mean, that's quality. That's quality playtime right there. So, you know, for me, like I said, 9 out of 10. I love the components. I love the simultaneous play. I love the dice rolling mechanics of the game. And those are some things that I really enjoy about the game. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this content, please go ahead and smash that like button, hit that notification bell. Go ahead and comment down below. What are your thoughts and opinions on this? Do you think this is a style game that is right for you? And as always, guys, if you are not subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe so we can keep bringing you some more awesome content. All right, guys, y'all have a great one. Bye.
Bye.